According to the Wisconsin Historical Society, Wisconsin means river running through a red place, which is actually referring to the red sandstone bluffs in the Wisconsin Dells, and was named by the Native Americans.
From this, we are able to understand why high schools have chosen Native American influenced mascots, but now, through further research and investigation, we are able to see and understand as Wisconsinites why these are inappropriate representations of Native Americans.
In August of last summer, there was an article released from the La Crosse Tribune saying that the mayor was calling for the removal of the Hiawatha statue after the national football teams end the use of Native American mascots. The statue was created in 1961 by Anthony Zimmerhackle. It's 25 feet tall, but the people of La Crosse say that it does not represent the indigenous people, but actually perpetuates stereotypes about Native Americans.
I don't see how we can ignore what's going on everywhere else where people and communities are facing these statues and these symbols and really trying to address them. I just think La Crosse is no different than these other communities, Cabot said. This clearly has been an issue of controversy in La Crosse and caused a lot of emotions on both sides, and I do feel it's time that we address it. Chris Munson, who is Oneida and secretary of the Wisconsin Indian Education Association, said she first realized firsthand the effects while a senior at Mosney High School in 1992. In the halls and classrooms are real-life Native Americans enduring these stereotypes, which affect self-esteem and identity. It's evolution. Things take time, but we're seeing steps in the right direction, Munson says.
A 2009 state act outlawed the use of race-based nicknames, logos, and mascots for Wisconsin schools. According to the Wisconsin Indian Mascot and Logo Task Force, 30 of the 65 high schools had changed theirs by May 2010, leaving 35 that haven't. In 2010, the GET school district had to change their mascots from the Red Men to the Red Hawks because of former Wisconsin Governor Jim Doyle, who said it was difficult to keep American Indian mascots.
Just this past school year, La Crosse Central High School changed their mascot from the Red Raiders to the Riverhawks. And to learn more about this, we went directly to the athletic director, Joe Barron, at Central High School.
One of my first years as a teacher here, if you look back at, our mascot used to be a chieftain on a horse. And then that got changed, I want to say back in around the late 90s, mid 90s. And we went from the chieftain on a horse to the raider or the knight on a horse. And then the process was just, we quit using the name Red with Raiders. We just kind of did that on our own, just went with Raiders there. And then eventually we just decided, and the principal is really the driving force behind just dropping Red Raiders altogether and moving forward with a completely different mascot and, not wanting to put a Band-Aid on it.
La Crosse citizens have recently seen a divide in La Crosse Central alumni on social media and news posts regarding the recent mascot change. To talk about this, we contacted alumni Jane Pinkowski and current Wartburg College student.
The name was very insensitive. The name Red Raiders was very insensitive in that it directly referred to Indigenous people. And using that as a school mascot, I think is harmful to just the self-esteem of Native Americans who are already not included enough in this country. And so for the only place for them to be included is in like high school mascots, which are already like, when you pick a high school mascot, you're trying to pick something that's like fierce or scary or something intimidating. And so for that to be one of the main places that you even see representation of Native Americans, I think is a pretty harmful idea, especially when it's not really acknowledged that that is something that shouldn't be happening.
Finally, we asked Barron how he thought that this change would affect the La Crosse community for the better.
I don't think our name change is a big step, but I think with the social justice, there's 1,000 little steps that need to be made throughout our community. And I think this is one of those little steps. And if everyone starts doing the little steps, I think you'll see big improvement.
Currently, there are still 29 high schools in Wisconsin that have Native American mascots. These mascots are harmful and don't accurately represent Native American history. It is important to change these high school mascots because mascots don't have history. People do.